the point of that activity was to demonstrate how we are applying these intelligences in many different ways. So now we're going to move on with classroom instruction. Dr. Marty has used different methodologies for classroom instruction. And this time, we're going to review similarities and differences, how we can help students identify similarities and differences. This slide basically just outlines certain ways we can identify these two. There's also a handout in your packet that summarizes this. It's the same thing. But basically, similarities and differences. What's the same? What's different, right? What you have to compare and contrast different ideas from stories or from movies, from information, any information you have. And so in your classes, you can really explicitly guide your students. Or in your classes, the students can do it themselves, right? The teachers just guide them, like help them along the way. And the students do it on their own. With similarities and differences, students can also try classifying, right? Putting things in a category, right? And the other two, metaphors and analogies. Metaphor is a way of seeing something that's different from another, but they have a relationship, right? Like life is a dream, right? Life and dream, two different things. But when you force the relationship, then you have to think of the connection, kind of like logical mathematical skill, right? And analogies, it's trying to identify the relationships between different concepts, ideas. So enough with this boring talk. Let's go into some activities that apply this, and then we're going to look at some textbooks. So, practice 1 for everyone. Draw a Venn diagram. So quick review. What's the Venn diagram in body language? Yes, Ajahn Niramon. The Venn diagram, right? 2 big circles, right? And then the circles intersect, right? So either draw a Venn diagram or a graphic organizer, whichever one you want to do. And I would like you to indicate the similarities and the differences between these 2 items. A car and the human body. So 2 minutes, go. Similarities and differences.
กิจกรรมนี้นะคะภาพที่เห็นนะคะคือภาพรถยนต์แล้วก็ภาพร่างกายคนนะคะให้อาจารย์นะคะระบุถึงสิ่งที่เหมือนและสิ่งที่แตกต่างของทั้งสองอย่างนี้นะคะโดยทำออกมาในรูปของเป็น Venn diagram ก็ได้นะคะที่ทำเป็นวงกลมนะคะที่ซ้อนกันมีส่วนที่ซ้อนกันนะคะหรือว่าเป็น Graphic Organizer ก็ได้นะคะค่ะให้เวลา2 นาทีค่ะอาจารย์ลองวาดลงกระดาษก็ได้นะคะแล้วก็เดี๋ยวเราจะโชว์บน Visualizer นะคะทางกรุงเทพนะคะทางหัวหินกับหัวหนองคายนะคะถ้ามี Visualizer ก็ยินดีนะคะค่ะ
Yes, please. When you're ready, sit next to the visualizer.
Okay, ระหว่างที่เป็น human ใช่ไหม and car หรือเมื่อกี้
and car yes
เมื่อกี้ car ใช่ไหมอะไรที่
life and nature
ความแตกต่างของ2 สิ่งนี้ถ้าเอามาใส่ในนี้ก็คือเราใส่ตรงนี้ใช่ไหมความแตกต่าง
ตัวนี้คือความเหมือนต้องเหมือน
ตรงนี้ต้องเหมือนต้องบอกว่า
เหมือนกันไหมคือเราเคลื่อนที่ได้
move
เหมือน
มันต้องมี structure ทั้งคนทั้งรถต้องมี structure คือ body ของมันเป็น body อะไรที่แตกต่างก็คืออันนี้มีชีวิตอันนี้เป็นแค่ material โอเคค เคลื่อนที่ได้
พูดได้พูดไม่ได้ก็ได้ใช่ไหมคะถ้าเด็กๆเขาก็จะหาความแตกต่าง
think การจริง
คิดติ้ง
เราคิดที่จะทำอะไรได้แต่โน้นคิดไม่ได้
ความคิด
ค่ะ
แต่อันนี้คือต้อง follow อะไรสักอย่างถูกต้อง push เอา push มาใช่
control
เอา control under control
ใช่ค่ะ under control ใช่ค่ะ
under control สิ่งที่เหมือนมีอะไรอีกที่เหมือนกัน มันมี part of body ป่ะ structure มันเป็น structure ไปแล้ว
มีโกมีเป้าหมายขับรถยนต์ไปไหนหรือว่าตัวเราจะทำอะไรมีโกได้ไหมคะ
มันมีเองไม่ได้
ค่ะ
มันต้อง
อย่าง
under control มันก็คือ thinking
อ๋อค่ะ
thinking ไปแล้ว
ก็
แต
human
กต่างก็คือคนต้องทานอาหารลูกได้ต้องใช้
We still have one more minute,
อันนั้นคือเหมือน
ต้องมี
and I hope that
แตกต่างนะคะ
teachers are ready to go to the visualizer soon.
ไอตัว energy อะ
energy ใช่
มันเพราะฉะนั้น
นี่คือเหมือนนะคะ
ก็มี
มัน
energy
ใช่
เหมือน
ใช่
นะคะ
ใช่
energy
อันนี้ก็ต้องมีเหมือนกัน
ก็
มัน
คือ
ก็
เรา
เป็น
ต้อง
ความ
มี
เหมือ
อาน
ได้
หารเขาต้องมีน้ำมันคือ energy
อันนั้นน่าจะอยู่
เหมือน
นะ
ค่ะ
ตัวนี้นะ
energy
โอเค energy
ขึ้นอยู่กับว่าตัวเหมือนจะเป็นตัว
ค่ะใช่ค่ะ
ที่แตกต่าง
คือจะแตกต่างกับเด็ก
อันนี้ใช้ food
ฟู้ด
อันนี้ใช้
ใช้
fuel
เพื่อ
fuel
โอเค
เพื่อ
อีกอย่างได้ไหมคะธรรมชาติอย่างคนเป็นธรรมชาติแต่นั้นเป็นวัตถุได้ไหมคะ
All right.
แมททีเรียน
อ๋อไม่ใช่
So, onward with teams to the visualizers. Let's start with Bangkok. Yes, we can share the similarities and differences. You had a very, very interesting Venn diagram there. Oh, I think the camera's already there, so.
ของเรานะคะ
ได้เลย
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The first thing that I should say that I'm very sorry to come late today.
Oh, I'm glad you came. We're glad you came.
The similar and the different about car and human and car. Okay. Human has life, but car is material. And human can thinking, but car is under control. We can control it,
Mm-hmm.
but human can think and can do everything by ourselves,
Mhm.
but car cannot. And the same here, the similar is what is it? Can move.
Mm.
Both of things can move and has body structure means body and energy. Human have food for energy and fuel for car.
All right.
That's all.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And how about the in Bangkok as well? We saw the chart or the Venn diagram. Are there any elements there that you have and they didn't have? If you'd like to share. I'm curious because there's one teacher that shouted out loud, "Ah!" So I would I would like you to share that similarity or difference. I'm not sure which one you were pointing out. Would you like to share what it was that's different? Oh, okay, the back group. All right.
Share idea again.
Okay, yes.
I think it's a compare about between car and human. It's I think control shift is in car and human have a brain. Yes, I think so. And human have no, have eyes, and car have light.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
And human have a food, and car is have a oil and gas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Human have a ID card, and car have a serial number. Is identify.
Ah, okay,
Yeah.
very nice.
And horn. Human have a mouth, have a voice,
Right.
talk about anything, and car horn have horn pen.
Right.
Pen. It's allowed.
Right.
It's allowed. Anything else?
Okay. Thank
Human
you.
control everything about car, and car made from human. Yes,
Right.
control from human.
Thank you very much. That's very interesting with the ID card.
ID card.
The serial number. Yes. What if you lose your ID card? Well, that's very interesting. And yeah, the light with the eyes, right? You have to be able to see. The interesting with the heart and the brain. And then you have the, I don't know what part of the car would be. The engine, maybe?
Yeah.
Right? I don't know much about cars. So no, very basic stuff. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so how about in either Hua Hin or Nong Khai? Do you have anything different that you would like to share, or something funny even that you think people would love to hear? The similarity or difference between a car and a human. Who out there really loves cars? Ooh, I see a microphone in Nong Khai.
Yeah, I think the most important difference is between car and human is emotion. Because human has many emotions, like angry, love, anything that. So and another thing that another difference is about trading. Because we can buy car, but we cannot buy human. Yeah.
Interesting viewpoint. Yeah.
Yeah. So another one is human can do anything that they want, but car they can do as the people can control them. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but some similarities that I think there will be the same as two sides. Yeah.
Right, right. The differences, you're highlighting more differences.
Yeah.
Thank you. Very good points. Right. Yeah, a car can't say, I don't want to go out today. Please don't take me out. It's raining. I don't want to get wet. Thank you. So I'm guessing maybe in Hua Hin, you can just give a signal, everything's the same, or is there something different in Hua Hin? I think they're having fun with their similarities and differences. But we can move on to our lessons in the books. So actually, that was Classroom Practice 1. Now we have Part 2 of identifying similarities and differences. So again, if we make the slide a little bit bigger for the TV audiences to see. Now this has to do with analogies, right? An example of an analogy. Hot is to cold as night is to day, right? The relationship of hot and cold, night and day. So now it's your turn. It's also in your packet, right? But if we make the slide a little bit bigger, here we go. So now it's your turn. Let's see. I don't know who I would call, which site, but I feel like it would only be fair if someone goes to the microphone already, like turn on your microphone and just go ding, 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 me, I want to answer. Okay, so oxygen is to humans as what is to plants? Blank.
Water. Water.
Okay, so Bangkok says water.
Water.
Okay, I'm not going to say anything yet. Hua Hin,
Yeah.
what do you say?
Nong Khai, please.
Oh, Nong Khai. Okay, Nong Khai, yes. What do you say?
Carbon dioxide.
Okay, Nong Khai says carbon dioxide. Hua Hin? Do you hear me, Hua Hin? Are you there? All right, well, the correct answer, carbon dioxide. 1 point for Nong Khai. Yay. Okay, so oxygen is needed by humans. Plants are needed by carbon dioxide is needed by plants. All right, there's the relationship. All right, second one, back to the big slide. Okay, so a carpenter. Carpenter is to, question mark, as painter is to brush. Bangkok, okay.
hammer
Hammer, okay. Anyone else? How about it? Okay, so we have hammer in Bangkok. Nong Khai or Hua Hin? Are you stumped? Not sure? Well, oh, yeah, okay, no? All right, well, the correct answer, yes. Ding, ding, ding. It's a tie between Nong Khai and Bangkok. Yes, it's a hammer, indeed. Right, so a carpenter uses the tool, the hammer, and a painter uses the tool, or the brush, right? So you have the relationship there. This is logical mathematical intelligence, by the way, and similarities and differences in terms of using this kind of activity for our students. So now let's apply. Now it's your turn to take a lesson and make an activity out of it. What are you going to do with this kind of lesson? It's also in your packet, and it's from this textbook called Messages for Level 2 students. Page 58, 59 there, but what you're going to see, you have to put the 2 pages together. There are 5 pictures, I believe, of what looks like towns and cities, civilizations. And on the right side are the descriptions and also the year of these civilizations. So now, as a teacher, think about how you would guide your students in identifying the similarities and the differences. So I'll give you about 2 minutes to discuss with each other. Now putting on your teacher hats, right? From this activity, how would you guide your students with identifying similarities and differences? That's what it looks like, but in your packet, they're black and white. And you have to put them together from Messages.
ค่ะสำหรับกิจกรรมนะคะภาพที่ขึ้นจอ Visualizer นะคะมาจากหนังสือเรียนชื่อ Messages นะคะซึ่งเป็น Student Book เล่มที่2นะคะ Student Book 2น่าจะสำหรับม.2 นะคะค่ะหนังสือชื่อ Messages นะคะหน้า58 59นะคะหน้า58ก็จะเป็นภาพที่เห็นนะคะทางซ้ายนะคะมี4ภาพด้วยกันแล้วก็หน้า59นะคะที่เป็นตัวหนังสือเหลืองๆนะคะก็จะเป็นคำบรรยายนะคะเกี่ยวกับสภาพของบ้านเรือนในแต่ละยุคนะคะก็คำถามของอาจารย์เชก็คือว่าเราจะนำคอนเซ็ปต์เกี่ยวกับ similarities กับ differences เนี่ยนะคะมาใช้นะคะในการทำกิจกรรมโดยใช้ภาพและข้อความนี้เป็นวัตถุดิบในการที่มาทำกิจกรรมได้อย่างไรค่ะอาจารย์ลองคิดกิจกรรมที่จะเป็นเกี่ยวกับ similarities กับ differences ค่ะโดยใช้ภาพและเรื่องตรงนี้ค่ะให้เวลาสัก 2-3 นาทีนะคะอาจารย์ไอเดียคร่าวๆค่ะค่ะ
Okay, just as a reminder, when we're sharing, I think this time we will start with Hua Hin. So perhaps Hua Hin could be ready in about 2 minutes. And then we'll go with Nong Khai, right? So be ready in about 3 minutes. And then Bangkok for your ideas on an activity.
ท่านอาจารย์ที่รับชมอยู่ทางที่โรงเรียนหรือทางบ้านก็เราจะอัปโหลดภาพแฮนด์เอาท์พวกนี้ขึ้นเว็บไซต์ด้วยนะคะพร้อมกับวิดีโอของการอบรมในครั้งนี้นะคะเพราะฉะนั้นท่านอาจารย์ก็จะถ้าจะนำไปใช้ก็ดาวน์โหลดไปได้นะคะค่ะ
Okay, so in about 1 minute, we will go to Hua Hin. All right, so Hua Hin, are we ready? That was more like 30 seconds. Even if it's just early ideas and you don't have anything set, what do you think you will do with your students for similarities and differences? Is anyone ready with a microphone in Hua Hin?
Ajahnทางหัวหินจะมีนำเสนอไหมคะค่ะเชิญเลยค่ะ
I would like to divide the class into groups, maybe 2 or 3 groups, and ask them to find a word that they can get from each picture. Like they can find the same word from picture A, B, C, D, E. The same word like maybe the river, the people, or anything that they can get from each picture, but it must be the same word that they can find to show the similarity of this picture. And then I will ask each group to find the differences between each picture. Maybe the styles of the houses or the vehicles that they can find in each picture. That's it. It's like the competitions. We can make them share the idea. It's maybe right or wrong, but it doesn't matter. That's it.
Okay. All right, thank you. So that's interesting. You're also using a linguistic intelligence there because you were asking them to identify some words. And then visual intelligence when you were asking them to identify from the pictures. So it's a good combination, and then using and including the similarities and differences activity and making it more fun by making it a competition. Unless some student, but maybe not the word competition, more like game. Maybe a game. But that's great. Thank you. How about in Nong Khai? A different kind of activity, or what element would you change? Or what activity do you have?
Hello, from Nong Khai, we have another ideas about with these pictures. We have a picture of this.
It's okay,
we,
yeah.
Put them in a group, 4 groups, and we put the picture, separate the picture. The first group see the first picture, and another see more, and we ask the question, what can you see in the picture, and make a list of what can they see. Then we after that we put them into the present, what can they say, and make a word in list and see what different to another group, and see what the word release linked to the relation of what can they see. Yes. Thank you.
That's great. So you're going to show the picture one at a time to the students?
Yes.
One picture at a time?
One picture per group, yes. Yeah.
That's great. And then after that, another picture, and then you ask them to compare and contrast?
Yeah.
Okay. And will this be verbal or written? What do you think? Will they say it or will they write it?
By write it on the big paper and then present after that, to see the more whole picture at last, yes.
Thank you. That sounds like fun.
Fun, yes, so fun.
Right? There's a lot of using visual spatial intelligence, right? And also asking the good yes. And also asking the good questions, right? To help them think on their own what kind of answers they're going to give to each other and to the teacher. Yes, there's a lot of combinations in that activity. And hopefully if they're standing, they're also moving around so they're not falling asleep in their chair maybe. That's great. Thank you. It's a memory game. All right. How about here in Bangkok? Activities. I don't hear one's ready. Oh, okay.
Okay, for city in the past and city nowadays. In the past, for simple piece for the nature environment, and for nowadays modern music, and for housing in the past and modern nowadays, and ways of life nowadays and in the past, and no technology or low technology, for now high technology, and in the past good environment, and for nowadays pollution, like this, and the same for accommodation and education. Thank you.
Thank you. And Ajahn, how would you do that in the class? Because that's a good way of making students think about now, right? And comparing it with the past. It's like a history lesson, but also a lesson for the future, what we can do for the future. How would you, any ideas how you would do that? How would you have this activity, or how would you have students think about this?
Okay, maybe this for apply to upper level. So if lower level, maybe we use some vocabulary from here, but for upper level, maybe they have to work in group, and maybe they prepare for Venn diagram like this, and maybe they draw a picture about the the city in the past and the city in nowadays, something like that, and share something that similarity and differences, something like that.
Yeah, that's great.
And share idea in front of the class to show or put on the wall, and every group try to look at something that may be different and get more idea.
Right. The students create the lesson, right? This is our drawing or our picture of the past and our drawing and picture of now. And they'll be like, okay, friends, tell us what's in the past, what's in the present, and then maybe you can guess what's in the future, right? That'd be such a fun activity. And then it could be a movie. Okay, all right, I'm getting carried away. I'm sorry. But actually, that's really great for Thailand, right? It's developing quite quickly. But there are still many places that have a strong history. And this would be a great lesson of similarities and differences. I think Ajahn wants to say something.
Yes ค่ะท่านอาจารย์ก็ได้แนะนำกิจกรรมนะคะที่ใช้ภาพนะคะแล้วก็คำอธิบายของแต่ละยุคสมัยนะคะเพื่อที่จะ compare contrast กันท่านอาจารย์เฉลียวศรีนะคะก็มีไอเดียนะคะว่าก็ทำเป็นเหมือนตารางนะคะก็มี2หัวข้อนะคะคือ places กับ occupation นะคะแล้วก็ places ในยุคแรกนะคะยุค10,000 BC นะคะเป็นอย่างไรก็จะมี tense ใช่ไหมคะพอ places ในยุค 2000 BC จะเป็นอย่างไรนะคะก็เป็น simple houses นะคะเป็น village นะคะแล้วก็ถ้ายุคต่อไป110 AD ก็จะเป็นอะไรฮะ Roman town มี bridge มี shops มี bar นะคะมี school แล้วก็พอมาในยุค 1,200 นะคะศตวรรษที่ 200 ก็เพิ่มอะไรนะ places นี่ก็เพิ่มเข้ามาก็เป็นอะไรฮะเป็น church เป็น castle เพิ่มเข้ามานะคะมี shoe shop มี bakers นะคะมี market แล้วก็พอยุคปี 1820 เพิ่มอะไรเข้ามาอีก hotel town hall square นะคะfactory นะคะคือก็จะเห็นว่านอกจากจะเปรียบเทียบเห็นความแตกต่างแล้วก็ว่ามีลักษณะของสถานที่นี่มีอะไรเพิ่มเข้ามานะคะในส่วนของ occupation ก็เหมือนกันในยุคแรกก็เป็นละ hunters ยุคที่2นะคะเป็น farmers ยุคที่3เป็นอะไรนะคะก็มี shopkeepers นะคะบาร์นะคะแล้วก็ยุคต่อไปนะคะมีอะไรอีกนะคะมี bakers นะคะมี vendors ใช่ไหมคะอยู่ใน market ยุคถัดมาก็มี workers อยู่ใน factory เพิ่มเข้ามานะคะมีอะไรที่เพิ่มเข้ามาภายใต้2หัวข้อคือ place กับ occupation นะคะค่ะค่ะซึ่งเหมือนกับว่าเป็นการ occupation เนี่ยนะคะอาจารย์เฉลียวศรีก็บอกว่าเหมือนกับเป็นการ imply ให้นักเรียนได้คิดเองว่าถ้าเผื่อว่าสถานที่ที่เพิ่มเข้ามาเนี่ยคือ shops occupation ที่เพิ่มเข้ามาคืออะไรก็คือ shopkeepers นะคะหรือว่าสถานที่เนี่ยเป็น school occupation ที่เพิ่มเข้ามาคืออะไรสำหรับยุคนั้นคือ teachers studentsอย่างนี้เป็นต้นใช่ไหมคะหรือว่าสถานที่เป็น market occupation ที่เพิ่มมาคือ vendors คือขยายต่อไปอีกว่าให้นักเรียนถึงขั้นคิดวิเคราะห์นะคะเป็น critical thinking นะคะเราก็มา critical thinking revisited กันนะคะเพราะเราพูดถึง critical thinking skills มาหลายครั้งหลายหนแล้วนะคะค่ะแล้วก็อันนี้ก็เป็นไอเดียท่านอาจารย์เฉลียวศรีนะคะซึ่งคิดว่าเป็นไอเดียที่ดีมากๆเลยนะคะอาจารย์เชย you understand what I was saying โอเคอาจารย์เชยเก่งมากนะคะตอนนี้เดี๋ยวนี้ก็เข้าใจภาษาไทยค่ะ
นิดเดียว Thank you, Ajahn. Thank you, Ajahn Leo, for sharing. Those wonderful ideas. And in many ways, you're using the interpersonal and the logical mathematical intelligences and many other skills. And it's so fun thinking of that also as a game. And it just makes me think about this game I like to play when I have time. It's called Civilization. It's a game where you create your own civilization. It's a computer game, so I don't know how many of you want to actually have your students do it. But in a way, if you can take that into the classroom, how would you build the civilization? What will be next century and next century and next century? And this also gave Ajahn Leo's idea, made me think of this wonderful show called Star Trek and how that is a civilization much later on in the future, and comparing that future to our present. Anyway, again, these ideas blossoming. So now our last activity. Too bad it's our last one, but I'm sure some of you are ready to eat. Okay, so this one is from a textbook called Smile for level 6 students, page 2021. And in this activity, I'd like you to think about the 2 intelligences we discussed briefly today, the intrapersonal and the logical mathematical. Pick one, pick both, up to you. So from this textbook, or the 2 pages, how can you guide and help your students in applying these 2 or 1 of these intelligences in any kind of activity? So it's a little bit dark, so perhaps we can show in the visualizer the chart about the different sports. The pictures are a little dark in your handout, so we'll show it soon so everyone can see the different sports. There we are.
ค่ะสำหรับกิจกรรมต่อไปนะคะภาพที่เห็นบน Visualizer นะคะที่ฉายบนจอตอนนี้นะคะก็มาจากหนังสือเรียนที่ชื่อ Smile นะคะเป็น Students Book ระดับ 6 นะคะจากหน้า 20-21 ซึ่งหน้า 20 นะคะก็เป็นชาร์ตนะคะเป็นภาพกีฬาชนิดต่างๆนะคะแล้วก็หน้า 21 นะคะเดี๋ยวอีกสักพักนะคะจะฉายให้ดูก็จะเป็น text สั้นๆนะคะที่เขียนว่า favorite sport ของตัวเองนั้นคืออะไรนะคะเป็นตัวอย่างนะคะแล้วก็กิจกรรมที่จันเชอยากให้ท่านอาจารย์ลองคิดก็คือว่าลองคิดดูซิว่าเราจะให้นักเรียนเนี่ยใช้ interpersonal intelligence กับ logical mathematical intelligence นะคะในการทำกิจกรรมนี้ได้อย่างไรนะคะค่ะ
Okay, so this time we're going to start with Bangkok, and then we'll follow with Nong Khai, and then end with Hua Hin. About 1 more minute. All right, so would teachers here in Bangkok like to share what kind of activity you would use for your students? For either interpersonal or logical mathematical or both, or I think all teachers have something to say. But we'll start with them and then we can go to
Okay,
you.
thank you. Our group idea is about when we saw this activity from this book, textbook, we think that first of all we have to discuss first about the sport. They have to tell that the sport they like or something like that, everyone talking. And then we have to do a survey that which sport that they like most. And then we put exciting the card, flat card on the board, exciting, dangerous, something like that, and let students to run quickly that which sport that they think is exciting or dangerous, something like that. Compete between groups, and then they have to do group work together, and at the end they have to present like a pattern about like our group think one sport that they think may be most exciting or most dangerous, and then they have to present in front of the class or in their group for the rest to listen for their ideas. At the end, we have students have their homework to write about their own, because they get some example how to write, how to speak from their friends, their peers, and then go back home, do your own sport that you like. It depends on you think it exciting or dangerous, say something like that. And we think that number 1 to number 5, that discussion, survey are logical. And then number 6 is intrapersonal. So, thank you.
Thank you. That's right. You're building on their skill of logical mathematical, right? Learning different concepts about the sports, getting more information, and then having them connect that to themselves, what they like, right? What kind also helps them to think about what skills they have, right? And comparing and contrasting among the different sports. That sounds like fun too. Thank you. Anyone else here in Bangkok would like to share something different? No? Yes? No. Okay, we'll move on. How about in Nong Khai? What activity do you have?
Okay, firstly we can let them think individually that which sport is more exciting and which sport is boring or something like that. So after that, we will let them to share their idea in front of the class. Yeah, that why, which sport is boring or exciting, give their ideas to their friends. So after that, we can compare or contrast their students' idea. That will be the difference. The different idea and the same idea, and why, and
Right.
ask them why, to let them think again. Yeah.
Right. Just a lot of thinking going on too, and also a lot of sharing with personal experience and personal preferences, right? What they like, what they don't like.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. A lot of discussion there. Yeah. And how about in Hua Hin? Which activity or what kind of activity?
Hi again, everyone. Yes, I would ask from this page. I would ask students to rank the number, like which activity is the most exciting, and then give the reason why by using statistics or from media, what they have experienced or what they have seen, and then give the reason to support their answer. Thank you.
That's great. That's inquiry-based learning there. You're asking them, okay, go outside of the classroom, find out, support your opinion, right? That's very good early training for doing research. Yeah, that's great. All right, so those 2 sample lessons, I hope, inspire you to try to challenge your students more for your next class and subsequent classes. And looking at our last slide is basically, if we go to that last slide, your real class lesson. So for our next session, I would like each site to share a description or even a sample lesson that you can show in the visualizer, right? That applies any of the 2 intelligences, or maybe both, and incorporate even maybe some other ones that Dr. Marty discussed with you. So it's either a description or the sample activity. If you also included a lesson with similarities and differences, that would be great as well. So I hope today we learned many different things about how to make our classroom more fun, exciting, and challenging. Thank you very much.
ค่ะการบ้านนะคะสำหรับคราวหน้านะคะอาจารย์เชยอยากให้ท่านอาจารย์นำกิจกรรมตัวอย่างที่ท่านอาจารย์ให้นักเรียนทำนะคะที่ใช้ intelligence ทั้งสองนะคะคือ logical mathematical intelligence กับ intrapersonal intelligence นะคะแล้วก็ถ้ามี similarities differences ด้วยได้ก็ยิ่งดีนะคะอาจารย์อาจจะต้องกลับไปดูซิกิจกรรมที่อาจารย์ทำไปแล้วกับนักเรียนก็ได้นะคะค่ะแล้วก็ลองดูว่าจะปรับนำให้มันให้ intelligence ทั้งสองนี้เข้าไปอยู่ได้อย่างไรนะคะหรือว่าปรับให้เป็น similarities กับ differences นะคะแล้วก็คราวหน้านำมา present นะคะมาเล่าให้ฟังค่ะสำหรับวันนี้นะคะการอบรมก็จบลงเพียงเท่านี้นะคะก็หวังว่าจะได้พบกันอีกในคราวหน้านะคะแล้วก็อย่าลืมกันบ้านแล้วก็งานทั้งหมดนะคะที่ท่านอาจารย์ที่มาอบรมนะคะที่กรุงเทพหัวหินแล้วก็ที่หนองคายก็มีแฮนด์เอาท์แจกให้ตลอดนะคะส่วนท่านอาจารย์ที่รับชมอยู่ทางโรงเรียนหรือว่าทางบ้านนะคะเราจะอัปโหลดวิดีโอของทุกครั้งนะคะการอบรมทุกครั้งขึ้นเว็บไซต์พร้อมกับแฮนด์เอาท์ทุกแผ่นค่ะซึ่งอาจารย์สามารถที่จะดาวน์โหลดนำไปใช้ได้ค่ะขอบคุณค่ะสำหรับการรับชมค่ะขอบคุณค่ะ